Welcome to Layout at Lunchtime. My name is Diane Gutierrez if this is your first time here, and I am a Creative Memories advisor located in sunny Southern California. So welcome everybody. If you're here, go ahead and put in the chat that you're here. I'd love to know who's on with me and where you're from. So if you want to do that, that would be great. Okay, so I have a fun layout planned for today. I hope that you agree. And I'm going to be using the Coastal Shore collection, so a kind of newer collection for me. And but before I do that, I want to talk about just a couple of quick announcements that we have. Let's see here. There we go. So if you haven't heard yet, Creative Memories started this week with this promotion, and it is what they call the You Pick It promotion. And the way it works is if you purchase $150 US in products, then you get to select from one of these 4 fabulous bundles that you see here on the screen. I'm not going to go into them all right now today because we're going to get into our layout, but I do suggest that you go over to Creative Memories and take a peek if you haven't seen them. The bundles have a punch with it, either a border punch or a punch and a standard punch, and then you also get papers and stickers, embellishments. Each bundle is slightly different. So hop on over there. It is a great time to stock up on your necessities that you need. Also, what's happening is there is a tab. If you go under the deals section, you'll see that they have what they're calling Sizzlin summer discounts. And on that tab, you'll see a handful of punches. Probably, I think there's 10. It says 10 plus here. 10, maybe over 10 punches that are deep discounted. I think they're deep discounted, and so maybe there's something there that you've been looking for or something that you've been wanting. It might be on there. So they're a little bit older punches, trying to clear out the shelf, so to speak, to bring in some new stuff for us, but definitely worth taking a look, and these would count toward your $150 for your promo item. So I say hop on over and take a look at that. And here is my Creative Memories website. If you have an advisor, then please shop with them. And if not, if you're looking for an advisor, I would love to be that person for you. And that's my Creative Memories address right there. And it's also listed in the description of this video. Okay? So other than that, that is all I have as far as announcements. I came here to get a quick layout done during lunchtime. It's my lunchtime here in California. Not sure where you're at, and if you, oh, hi Mary, she's in Michigan, so it's probably already your afternoon there, right? You're 3 hours ahead, but, or you're cleaning up from lunch. I don't know, but we're gonna get a layout done. So let me flip on over and we'll get to work. Okay, there we go. So I wanted to use this Coastal Shore collection. It's beautiful. I love this collection. I love anything nautical. It fits right in my color scheme with reds and whites and blues. And this one has some brown in it. It's gorgeous. I'm going to do a 2-page layout today. And what my goal is to am I actually going to do a base page today? I don't have any photos because we're going to go on an excursion in a couple weeks here that I'm going to make this for. But my goal is to have bigger embellishment clusters. I love doing my embellishment clusters. And on this layout, I kind of want to just make it really heavy on embellishments in just a couple of areas, maybe one on each page. So that's my goal today. I brought in a ton of tools. I should have showed you before I switched over. And I'm going to bring in some older tools and some newer tools to help me create those clusters and the look that I'm going to go for this coastal layout. Okay, so here's a little peek at some of the colors in this collection. It has this beautiful turquoise in it. And I haven't quite decided if I'm going to use the shell side, the seashells, or the plaid. I'm kind of leaning toward the plaid, but we'll see. I could flip it over last minute if I want to. And then I'm going to bring in this red stripe because that's very nautical looking. And my absolute two favorite pages, I wish I had a whole pack of this, are these wood grain papers. They are just so beautiful. So that's going to be my background, my main piece for my background today. Okay, I'm going to build my layout up onto some white cardstock, although I don't think it's just some scrap paper. I don't think it's necessarily needed for what I'm going to do, but it's going to give me like a little housing area for my layout and kind of keep it all together. And then I'm bringing in lots of cardstock so that I could get those clusters built. Okay, so let me put all this aside. And let's go ahead and bring in the mats. Makes it a little easier for me to move things around so I could punch and get this out of my way during the punching process. Like I said, I'm going to build up onto the white paper, and I'm going to start with the wood grain. So every time I do a very like nautical, oceany kind of layout, for some reason I always tend to want to paper tear. So I'm going to do some paper tearing today. No tools necessarily needed for that. Can't get it. There we go. I'm going to come up probably like about 3 inches. That's why I was checking here on my mat. So I'm going to come up to about here. It's not going to be precise, but we're going to see. I'm going to go away from myself so that the white core is coming off here and not on the part that's going to be on my layout. And I'm not looking for a super straight cut. That's the whole point for me, is to kind of give it that rough kind of, you know, you're at the pier and things are rough and bumpy. It almost blends right in with my background there. Okay, and I'm going to put this piece aside. I don't think I need that anymore. And I'm going to do the same thing for the second piece. I'm going to come up about 3 inches and tear. Again, going away from myself. And the rougher, the better. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to bring in the plaid piece, and I'm going to also paper tear this one. And this one I want it to fit kind of right in here. I could tuck it up a little bit, so I think probably another, let's go 3 inches. That should be plenty, because I'm going to bring in the red stripe at the very bottom. So there's going to be room to play with this one. And let's see, yeah, this one's not directional. Let's see, it's going to be the small piece that's going to be at the bottom, that's going to be showing. So we'll tear it this way. And actually, I'm going to do another piece for this other side. And there we go. I guess I could have just cut that piece. And it's going to look like this and like this. And then I'm going to bring in the red striped paper. And you can see I don't need very much. Probably bring in a 2-inch piece just so I have enough room to tuck that up and kind of move things around as we continue building up our layout. Who else is with me? You like paper tearing? Okay, 2 inches. And let's put that aside for now. And it's going to go like this. I apologize if you hear the background noise. I did not close my window. There we go. And we're going to go like this. There we go. So a little bit different on each side, but pretty much this, you know, it looks uniform. And I want to kind of curl this up a little bit. So I'm just going to take my fingernail and kind of come and rough it up even more around the edges. I'm going to do this on the brown. and the turquoise paper down here. And I was thinking of using my distressing tool or my multi-purpose tool, but I find it's easier. My nails are kind of short, and so I'm just going to come around the edge and just kind of curl it up a little bit. Darlene, you like paper tearing? Yeah, it kind of gives it a shabby chic. Yeah, I tend to do this when I have coastal pages, country kind of pages, outdoors. Kind of gives it that, like, you're not going to walk outside and necessarily see everything uniform. Okay. Probably a little easier way to do this, but it's getting the job done. Gonna definitely need some lotion when I'm done here. Okay. I don't want too much of a curl because the other side is more turquoise and I didn't want really that showing too much. And down here, I do have some white paper where I started tearing the wrong side, so that I'm gonna just take care of that by flicking it with my finger and getting a little bit of a curl there. Okay, so I'm just going to continue going through both sides of this. And you can see why I don't really need the white piece underneath. I just thought it's good to build up on it, and I could adhere this and to it to kind of keep it all straight and in place while I'm creating. And it's a thin piece of white paper, so it's not going to add too much bulk to my album. Of course, if you're building right in your album, you wouldn't need that at all. Okay. Okay, one more. Let's see here. Yep, this is probably the tedious part. Get this done and we move on with this layout, but I like it. So we're going on a little excursion in a couple weeks. There's some islands off the coast of Southern California. They're not like tropical islands where this layout might tend to have it might tend to be moving toward a tropical feel here, I think, with the tools I picked out. So we have these islands. They're called the Channel Islands, and there's, I believe there's 7 of them. I don't know, maybe 5. And I've never been to them all these years that I've grown up in California. So we're taking a little family trip and going out to see one of the islands. And so I thought, I'm going to make this layout ahead of time. And I'll know what kind of directions to take my photos. I'll be ready to go when I come back. So that's my plan with this layout today, but we'll see, because like I said, I think this might have a little bit more of a tropical feel than these islands. This is more like it's going to be hiking. I think there might be like kayaking. We're not going to do kayaking, but I think there's kayaking out there, but it's kind of, not like you stay overnight. It's more of a day trip. Okay, so there's the first page. I'm going to hold off on adhering this part down, so I'm going to come back in with a punch and do a punch out and tuck it up underneath there. So I'm going to bring in the fishnet border punch and create a little fishing net underneath there. Okay, so I adhered the bottom strip first, and I'm coming back and doing the top, and I'm not adhering right at the edge because I do want to come back in with that fishnet border punch. And then I'm tucking the middle one in so I know how far up I want to take it. So actually, let's see what we can do about matching these up. Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. So this one I could adhere the bottom, and it's just right here that's loose. Okay, so I'm going to push this aside and bring in the fishnet border punch, and I'm going to bring in some hot cocoa dark brown cardstock, and I'm going to punch out 2 strips of this, one for each side of my layout. Okay, so if you didn't know, our punches have that black line in the front. We take the edge of the paper, match it up to the black line, push it all the way to the back part of the punch, and then press down. Whoa, it's kind of tight. This is a little bit thicker paper, but it's Creative Memories paper. It's just some of the thicker one. Okay, there's one. Oops, I have a little bit of a miscut there. I must have moved it. Not a big deal, it'll come right off. And I need one more. Let me trim off the little triangles. This one has the little triangle guides so that you can line it up. There we go. Here's the triangle. You just line it up. It makes it easier for punching. Anybody else on a lunch break? Taking some time off? Am I the only one on taking time from lunch? Life and Whimsy Creations. Hi, welcome from Canada. Okay, let's put this one, the trash away, and let me just clean up a couple little areas. You see where I must have moved the punch ever so slightly, and it's not going to be a big deal for this layout, but I do want to get these little hangy things off. Okay, and there we go. I think we're done. Oh no, we're not done with our fishnet. I'm going to bring that one back in when I go to embellish, so stay tuned because that'll be fun. Okay, so this piece I'm going to take and I'm going to tuck it under the wood grain. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to see. I don't want it completely hidden, but since it's not a perfect tear, it's going to be exposed more at one side than the other. So I might move it down a little bit. Let's see, I do want it up underneath. So there we go. It's going to look like that. And then the other one will go on the other side, just popping out a little bit, giving that little bit more of a texture and I think a coastal feel, as if you're on some kind of like a fishing boat or something. Okay, let's go ahead and get that adhered down. Definitely need my repo for this. Hi Carla, thanks for joining. Okay, let's see here. There we go. And now I can go ahead and adhere down the wood grain. We'll come to this side. And let's see here. There we go. There. And I'll go ahead and get this adhered down. There we go. So it's just showing through a little bit, adding that little bit extra texture into our layout. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do next? I think I'm going to bring in my photo placers so that you can kind of get an idea of what my photos are going to be like. Or I think that I'm going to, hopefully my photos work out. I'll have to remember when I'm there to take this, same photo, different orientation, so I can see what I want to use. So I'm going to have 2 full-size 4x6 photos over here. Probably going to put them at an angle like that. There's plenty of room here if you wanted to keep them nice and straight. That's cool too. I'm going to give them a little bit of a tilt. My mats are 6x4, so great size. I just have to trim my photos ever so slightly to get them to fit on the mats, because I like the brown mats, and I'm going to adhere them on so that they'll be permanent. So when I get the photos, I could adhere them right to the mats. This is just brown cardstock from my stash, and I'm gonna do on this side, I'll have another vertical 4x6 here, and then two smaller photos here, which these are 3.5 by 5.5 inches. Another great photo size. I love using that size. You can get a lot of more photos on with that size. So there's plenty of room on here to add more photos if you wanted to, but I do want to kind of embellish pretty heavy on this layout. So I'm gonna just, let's see, I'm gonna adhere these ever so slightly so that I could move them around, but I want them to not be moving too much on us. Let's see. I want to kind of go like this. I like this one over here to be a little higher when I have this kind of tilt, but we'll see. I'm still going to be flexible on where these go as I build up this embellishment cluster that I want to do. Okay, so that's going to be my photo placement. Okay, hopefully that I put enough adhesive to hold that in place for us. Okay, so let's see, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in the garland banner punch, and I'm going to bring in a piece of Lagoon shimmer, and I'm going to punch out just one row of this. This punch works the same as the fishnet. Oh, I did move it that time. I felt it. Let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, it looks pretty good. This paper is a lot thinner, so it's really going through like butter. After that fishnet, the fishnet was a little tougher, and maybe because it's so ornate too, it has a lot of open areas. Okay, there we go. That is it for this punch. I don't want to bring too much of this in. It's just for some fun and to bring in our teal color. So I think what I'm going to do is put it up here, and I just want a little bit. I don't want it to run the whole way. I just want it to kind of pop out. Let's see, do I want the whole? I'm going to cut the whole circle for now, and we can come back and play with that if we want to. And then on the other side, I'm going to come in 2 and cut off this one, again rounding that circle. I have lots of room up here, not so much room over here. So let's do that. I'm going to bring this down a little bit like that, and then this one, there we go. Okay, that's going to be a little bit of an extra added decoration. Let's go ahead and adhere that. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to show up. Let's take our shimmer pen. Oops. And I wonder if I can go around the edges of our shimmer paper. I might not, there we go. Yeah, it's going to show up. I'm just going to go around the edges of this banner and kind of give it a little bit of a pop. I'm not going to probably decorate any more on top of this, so it'll help it stand out just a little bit. So I haven't really used the shimmer pen on shimmer paper, so we'll see. I'll let this dry and then we'll see by the end if we can see it or not. Let's see. There's not really a lot showing up, so it might not be worth it. Let's see, did I get the whole thing? Let's come back through here. It's better if I go from underneath. I notice if I go from the top, I'm hitting the banner. So this is the clear shimmer. Gold might work too. I'm going to lay that up here to dry. It does have adhesive on the back, so okay, and I'll do this one too real quick. Yeah, I'm just using the edge of the shimmer brush and kind of highlighting the edge of each little banner. I love this banner. This is my new favorite banner. Of course, anytime there's a new banner, it's probably going to be my favorite for a while. But I love the swoop of it and the tails that come out. And if you didn't know, the banner BMC, if you punch that and cut it in half, fits perfectly inside these banners. So this has been a really fun one to have. Okay. Yeah, it's not really showing up a whole lot, but we'll see. I have done this on regular cardstock and it shows up quite a bit, but that's okay. Gives it just a little bit extra something. Oh, okay. So yeah, it looks like, yes, this week we have some sand dunes up at Pismo Beach too, and I feel like that reminded me of that, and I've already scrapped that that event, so I'm like, oh darn, because this would have been perfect for that. But yeah, it's really nice for coastal, like any kind of beachy kind of things. Okay. Let's see. Let's start building up a cluster. I want to put a nice big cluster right here, and I'll show you what I brought in. So I brought in, well, I have brought in little scraps because I told you I'm going to bring in some punches, and I brought in some florals. I mean, I just love my florals, so why not? I went through some of my little embellishment box here and pulled out some pre-made things. Not the right color, but I think I'm going to try and get that on there, and a couple little tags I had in my box. So put that over there. I'm going to start with some big flowers that I had from our recent embellishment pack, and I'm going to use these as kind of my cluster base. I'm kind of putting these in here for some color. The deep orange is not one of the recommended colors, but I feel like if I start bringing in some darker colors, it's going to really add a little pop to it. So I'm going to kind of tuck those under the photo and come out. We'll probably still play with that. And I have a leaf. Thought I had a leaf. Oh, here it is. The leaf is going to help to bring out my cluster to go outward. So I'll tuck that in right around there somewhere. And I'm just going to start punching out some things. Let's see. This one, I don't know. I like the gum leaf. I'm going to bring the gum leaf punch here in a minute. And to me, this is very tropical and kind of oceany, I guess. So I like it because it's kind of spiny looking. And I just want a couple different leaves in my cluster here to kind of make sure my photos are still going to work there. Okay. To kind of give just different dimension and texture as I go through and build this. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm also going to bring in the Monstera leaf and do a couple of these as well. In fact, let me go ahead and get a row punched out so that we could cut it up and use it in our embellishment clusters. Okay. Of course, this one is very tropical. Dark green. It is a thick piece as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna do, I just need like, probably don't even need a whole row. Uh-oh. Maybe that's good. I got it jammed in there. Okie dokie. Let's see here. There we go. I have one more punch left. Let's go ahead and see if I could. There we go. I can do it. There we go. And I think I'm done with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and trim these out. This has two different sizes. So I'm just going to cut out a couple of each one and clean them up a little bit. And then I'm going to use these as little tucking pieces in my embellishment clusters. I have enough here for both sides of my layout. Or I will have enough here. And let's see. One more. This one's not, I could tuck it in and use it, but I don't think I'm going to need it. This is going to be plenty. We'll add this to our tray. And while we have it out, let's go ahead and do the gum leaf. This is an older punch. It's not available anymore. But I know a lot of you have this punch. Okay. See, it's really, and it has like these little berries at the end too, which are super fun. Let's see if I can get two out of this little scrap. This is Kelly Green. There it is. And I want to do 3. Let's see. Do I have enough paper? Oh, did I not bring in any more? Okay. I don't think we could see that well. 2 might be... Oh, I got one. Yay. Wasn't too sure about that one. Okay. I just brought some scraps in and wasn't really thinking about that. Okay, so I have 3 of those. That way I have an odd number. Plus I have this one. I'm going to keep this right here. So, okay. So, well, how's my banners? Are they drying? They should be dry by now, but let me scoot that up. Another tool I want to bring in that I feel is very nautical is the compass punch. So I want to bring this in and use, let's see, what do I have here? Oatmeal. And punch out. Actually, I'll use dark brown. Kind of bring in some more of the dark brown from our border down there. And then what I like to do with the compass is I like to add it onto a circle, and I punch out a few circles or a couple circles from our old school Creative Memories. I believe this was the 1.5 inch. Yeah, probably the 1.5 inch. And I like to layer it up onto the circle like that. 1.25 inches would work nice too. So let's see if we have it. I have it laying right here. Let's see if we can do 1.25 inches. See how we like that. Yeah, I kind of like that a little bit better than the 1.5 inches because it kind of, the little spindles are pointing off. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get that adhered onto the circle. And bringing in more tools. I love it. This one I'm going to kind of tuck up here. Can't go traveling in the ocean without some kind of compass. There we go. And my leaves, probably time for a leaf. Here's a bigger one. Actually, that one's crinkled. That's kind of, I just want to fill in this little area with all kinds of different things. So we're going to do that. And then I know I have a couple tags in here. Teal is The dark teal is one of the colors recommended to go with this collection. I kind of like that. And my little gum leaf. Let's move the tag. Put the gum leaf to the side. There we go. So see, I'm just building this whole giant embellishment cluster. Another tool I want to bring in, a couple things here, is the embossed flower. Another recommended color for this collection was beige, and you guys know beige is not one of my go-to colors, but I think it's gonna look pretty nice as a little flower. And I'm going to get my pen and color in those little circles. Actually, what I want to do are the little dots. So it's actually pretty, it's pretty, right? On beige. I wouldn't have never thought that, but when I was playing around, I thought, hey, I like beige for this layout, and beige is not one of my go-to colors. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's see if our banner is ready. We're gonna keep out some of these punches, so when we come to the other side, we could continue embellishing. Let's see. So my banner's gonna go up here, and the flat edge is going to rest at the edge of the paper like that, and it's just going to come in kind of flowing in. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to be I agree, the purple one is kind of out there. And I just happen to have that pre-made, so I liked it, and I hope it does work. I was looking through my box for like flowers and things, and I just love that, how it looks. If it really bothers me later, I could bring it out, but this is like 2 punches to get that to look like that, which is not a problem, but I have so many punches to bring in today. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use this spot up here for my titling area, and I went through the sticker sheet and I did find what I wanted. It says, this is so cute. It says celebrate, like celebrate, but celebrate, and it has little seashells there. Celebrate good times. And I haven't gone to this outing yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. So I'm going to tuck this, but I want those shells to show. So I'm going to bring that up here somehow, maybe on top even for now, and kind of keep that up there. Okay, I want to bring in another kind of subtitle. It says by the bay. This came off the sticker sheet. I think this was from the past nautical collection, Seaside, and so it says by the bay, so it's going to say celebrate good times by the bay, and I'm probably going to pop that one up onto some foam. Get some little ones here. Oops, got a little hair in there. Probably my dog's. She comes in here sometimes. Okay, so it's gonna look kind of like that, flowing off the side there. And I'll probably come back through again. Well, let's see. Let's look at it while we're here. And I have my extra leaves. I'll probably bring in something like that. Yeah, I like that. And let's come to the other side. I actually have this area right here. I do have some things. I have this word friends I liked. I'm not too sure about that, but let's see. It needs to sit on top of something, and I need to, oh, I had another punch out. whoops. I was going to bring in this scallop circle and some scrap paper. What do we need? Do we want beige or... Let's try the beige. I know, let's see. Gotta make sure you're on the right one with this punch because it punches out the 3 different types, and I do want number 1. I kind of leave it on number 1 a lot because that's the one I use most. I use this as a embellishment cluster base all the time, so I just leave it on there. That's cute. We'll tuck this right under there and kind of bring the word friends like that. And where's my little blue pen? I think I'm going to bring in my little blue pen and decorate all around here. Let's see. Give them a little smaller and kind of go up into every, because it's kind of blending in with my background. I'm going to move that, come all the way around. There we go. This might look really cute too with our shimmer pen. Oh, this would, you can't see it that well. I'm thinking gold would have been a better option. But it does add a little bit of sparkle. Glistening like seawater. Okay, let that dry. We'll put that off to the side to dry. Okay, we're going to come back to this area when that's dry and work a little bit more. So let's move over here because I do want to show you my idea for using the fishnet. Uh-oh, I just went on top of that. Okay, so let's bring in, I think if I was on a fishing boat or something, I probably would do this a little bit darker brown, but since I have so much brown on my layout between the background and then my photo mats, I'm going to try it on beige. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out one whole row and then cut it apart. Okay. I don't think I've ever used so much beige on a layout. It's nice. Okay, so my idea with this is to create like a fishing net and put it over here and kind of use it as an embellishment cluster base. So I'm thinking this is about 12 inches. Let's see, I'll cut it every like 4 inches or so and kind of go from there. So I'm just going to kind of continue cutting the pattern, but then just cut it apart from each other. I've done this before with the honeycomb. BMC is the same kind of idea, and I love it. It gives it just enough texture. I'm actually going to come back down here. I'm not liking that one and give it more of a pointy. Let's see, and it doesn't have to be anything precise because I'm going to cut it some more and hook them together. Bring our mat in. So my idea is just to get these hooked together and stagger them so that when they are together, it's going to just give the idea of a fishing net. Okay, whoops, where's my, definitely need repo for this one. And then I'm just going to overlap them so that it's not noticeable where they're connecting. But I definitely want it to be varying in sizes. Okay. this one I might come back down a little bit, or let's see, lower than the first one. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. We can still trim it up once we put it on our page. So there we go. It's kind of giving me that, you know, a fishing net, just like the name implies. And then I'm going to tuck it over here. So I probably didn't even need 3 whole pieces, but I do want it to pop out around the edge. Let me get this here a little bit better. Going to go a little heavy on that so it doesn't come off. And let's see. Okay. Tuck it under. There we go. See, I didn't want to go dark brown either because I have dark brown here. So I think this is nice. It's going to just kind of give us a little bit of texture. White actually would look kind of good too there. And then I'm going to embellish up on top of that. Okay. So let's see. I have a couple things I wanted to bring in, and I do want to bring in my punch back in. So I have my embossed flower over here. I should have punched out 2. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I also want to do one with the teal, or the, not the teal, the Lagoon Shimmer. You could tell I was playing around. And that way I have a couple to play with. Okay, let's see. See, the teal looks really nice. Really pops out well with that teal. Okay, let me go ahead and adhere this down. I think it's gonna move around too much for me. Let's see, this way. Yeah, we'll do that way. Up. There we go. And then we can play on top. So I have that teal one there. I still have a beige one. Get our leaves back out. Tuck in some leaves. Here or here. Let's see. I don't know if I should go too much on my photo. I like it like this. Okay. And then I do have this tag. Now this is another odd color. I know it's odd, but I'm just trying to use things that are in my stash, and I feel like it's not the same color, but at least maybe it would bring in some kind of darker brown. It's more like a plum, but we'll see. We'll see if we like it. Our compass. Let's bring our compass back in. Let's see. Here it is. Did I punch any extras? I did not. So let's see. What do we want to do? We can try beige. Did I have enough? I did. And put somewhere over there. It's going to go. Little compass keeps... I keep punching it right on top of my layout. I have brought in one of the teal flowers, and I brought in some gems. I like it like that, but let's keep it for the other side maybe. Our gum leaf, let's see. It's getting really close to the edge, so maybe up here. I don't know if I want this on a circle or just hanging out. Maybe a circle so it, yeah, let's do another small circle. We went to 1 1/4 is what we used. The old punches still work great, but I do have to kind of push hard on my circle. There we go. That's nice. Let's go ahead and get this adhered so we can play with it. Yeah, it stands out a lot more. I'm going to move it up a little higher so that it could, got a lot of beige going on this side. Let's do another. another one in turquoise. And see. Get another leaf maybe. Tuck it back in there. Kind of want something to transition from the fishnet up. So we'll tuck that in. I have that is the small one, huh? It's getting really close to the edge of the page. Take that out. Maybe just one. And then kind of have that like that. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Still have one beige flower left. Let's check in on our little scallop. Yeah, that's nice. And kind of tuck it down here. Yeah, this one really shows up. Have our word friend maybe going like that. And either my turquoise flower or maybe another embossed flower. Okay, let's keep that there for a minute. Tuck in a few leaves. Get that gum leaf back in here. Really close to the edge, so I need to tuck it in further. Let's do the gum leaf first. And then the monstera leaf on top. So it'll look, let me move out of the way here. So it'll look like that. It'll have both leaves kind of trailing up. Okay, I like it. I think I might put this up onto some foam. Okay. Move it to the side a little more. Nice. Okay. What else did I bring in? Brought in some little fish and some little water droplets. We'll come back to that at the end with our little finishing touches. Oh, that did pretty good here. So I have a red anchor from the sticker sheet. And I don't know, for some reason I think anchors belong toward the bottom of the page. So let's see if we like it here. It'll look something like that. It's kind of cute. I got to get everything lined up, but yeah, tucked underneath our turquoise flower on top of our scallop. Ah, there we go. That's kind of cute. I have this little blue heart that actually already has foam from another project I didn't use. Oh, it's cute right there. It's also cute right over here. I feel like I already have some darker turquoise there, so I do like it here. Move this down. There we go. Okay. I think up here I might bring in a little bit of red. Let's see. A little strip, maybe into a banner cut. Let's see here. Maybe like a 1/4 inch? No, not a 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch. Just trying to figure out which way I want my stripes to go. Yeah, let's do 3/4 of an inch. And I don't need it this long for sure. And let's do about right there. That part's going to get tucked in. I'll put a little banner cut fishtail at the end here. See if we like that. I'm not sure, but we're going to leave it there for a minute and see. Only because it gives me a little bit of red. I'm going to come back to this side and add a little bit of red with another tool. So I'm gonna think about that one for a little bit, and I don't know if I want this red. There we go. It's kind of cute. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad you got some tips. Thank you. Okay, so what I want to do here with my fishnet is bring in the Curious Crab border making cartridge. So, these are super cute. If you haven't seen these, it's super cute. So let's go ahead and punch out a row. Let's move our tray. By the way, I get asked quite often where I got this cute little tray, and if you're wondering, I got that from the Dollar Tree. And I have a couple of them because when I prep for, sorry about that. When I prep for projects, I like to use them. So I think I have like 3. So the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's cute. It's just perfect. It holds everything that I need, you know, little scraps of things and my smaller items, of course. And I need my border making housing. And the Curious Crab. Where is it? There we go. Cartridge. I'm going to punch out a row. And this is going to help me bring in some red. I'm not going to use the actual cutout. I'm just going to use the little crabs. This is actually, the red I'm using is, I believe it's cranberry. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's cranberry. I like it better than actual red that we have for my little crabs. Okay, so let's bring this back in. So now I'm just going to come back through and put crabs around, but mostly I wanted it for over here because it's this little fishnet. Oh, let's see if I have my marker. I want to give them a little faces, but I don't think I brought my black marker. Will it matter if we use blue? Let's see. Give them like a little face. If happy faces aren't your things on your crabs, then we'll skip that part. Let's put one right here. I just think they're super cute. Oops. And they're very curious looking, right? One up here with our rest of our cluster. And let's see, we'll probably do like 3 on this side. Whoops. Won't use all of these. I think it'll be too much. I think down here somewhere, maybe we'll have him poking out a little bit. Oops. Cover my cap here. Yeah, he can be coming out from behind there. That's cute. And then let's see. Use the bigger side. I did a little video and where I colored these with the shimmer brush, and that looked really cute too. Very easy to do. Oh, I like that up there. It kind of brings it all together. Let's see, how many more do I want to add here? Let's put one down and let's put one in, at least one in every cluster area. Why not? We're trying to make big clusters. Bring in some themes. Oh, let's see, where do we want to put him? Here? Or up here? We'll put him down here on our little base. Or maybe he can tuck out too, like that. He looks like he's surprising. We might come back and change that one, but. And one for the last cluster, our biggest cluster over here. And maybe tuck it under like that. There we go. Just kind of adds a little pop of the red around, and I'll save all my extra little ones for another layout. Okay, let's see. I did bring in some twine for my tags. We can go ahead and maybe I'll add some twine I don't need that big of a piece. We're going to start bringing in some finishing touches. Of course, I have to adhere all this down still. So I like to just bend it in half. Let me pull this out and show you. I fold it in half, make a loop, tuck the loop through my tag. The tag I used was the 3-in-1 tag punch, but I didn't do that today. That one, this was already in my stash from a previous layout. And then I take the two ends and pull it through and tighten it. And then I'll probably come back through and snip them down a little bit. I like to make them uneven, and it'll look like that. That one's really small. That's okay. And then I'll do the same thing. Take this tag out to do it. Bend it in half, kind of pinch it together, put it through. This tag came from a metal die that I have. I ran through my die cut machine. Again, it was just from another project. And I put the two legs through the loop and pull. And again, I'll make them uneven. And tuck it back in. There we go. Just adds a little bit of dimension to it, kind of makes the tag seem even bigger and longer than it was. Probably gonna bring all these together a little bit more, like that. Maybe this one even on top, we'll see. Yeah, like that. Okay, what else do I want to bring in as finishing touches? I brought in, I'm thinking I have a compass, I need one more compass. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do dark brown up there. This is just, this is how I scrapbook. I just start playing around and bringing in, I don't know if I can get it to fit on here. I have a bigger piece, but let's try it out. This one might be close. Let's see. Oh, it did. I'm surprising myself today. I guess I'm not judging. Oh, look, I think it's cued off to the side. Okay. There, now I got my 3 compasses on here. Kind of gives me that visual triangle also. I'm not going to put one down here because I'm running out of room. Let's see what else. Let's bring in some of our gems. And I think I have one more punch to try and bring in, believe it or not. I got a lot of tools used on this layout. I like these little pearls. And I'm going to see if I like it. Kind of looks like, you know, an oyster pearl. And let's put on the turquoise ones and see. I'm not sure how it'll look on the beige on the other side. I really thought I was going to bring beige in on this side, but I have a lot of beige. No, I think I'm going to keep my blue little dots, but I also have these. Nope, I like the dots. Okay, but I do feel like I need a pearl of some kind on this side. Let's see here. Maybe in the center of this. Let's kind of center that a little bit more. Yeah, I know that's hard to see in the screen, but let me see if I can zoom in a little for you guys. I don't know if that helped at all. My little heart fell. Let's put him back. There we go. Come in a little more. I don't know if that helped or not. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think what I want to do before I add the blue is I did bring in my little arrow punch. Love this one for all layouts. It comes in handy for sure. And I'm gonna I'm using the dark teal like I have in the little tag up there. And I will do 2, 1 for each side. Let's see. Thinking it's gonna go right here, kind of telling us to look that way, and maybe right over here. telling us to go look the other direction. There we go. That way I know how much teal and blues I have before I bring these in. Let's see here. Just trying to decide, do I like the light or the dark? So let's grab our multi-purpose tool and see. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to glue it all down. What I normally do is I'll just take my liquid glue and come by and hold it up, squirt it in, and try and get it as close to what I have like right now. But yeah, you're right. Let's see. I think I might go with the darker ones on the other side. And let's see here. Having a hard time deciding, maybe right here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do with those, because I have the pearls, and I don't think I'm gonna use the water drops this time. I do want to look for a little word sticker. I brought in a couple sheets here, so I love my little word stickers. And let's see. So many good ones. Today's the day, live in the moment, family time. I do like family time, but if our friends come and I keep this part here, right here, which I'm probably going to, not just family time. Oh, remember when. That's cute. Or remember this moment I have on this one. But I'm thinking right over here in this area. Oh, it might even look good in this open area down here. I was thinking more up here. And let's see. Yeah, I like it right up here. And then put everything back up. There we go. Okay. Let me zoom back out a little bit so you can see the full thing. I feel like it's so close that you can't really see. Line it back up. And there we go. That is going to be my layout. I'm not going to decorate those banners. I feel like they have a little bit of shimmer, and it's just kind of bring in that. I feel like when we're at the dock, we see like banners in the sky a little bit, a lot of flags flying. So I'm going to keep that just free flowing up there. And yeah, I am going to have to work on getting all this glued down. And the little shimmer paper is really not as bright as it seems with my lighting, but it's more this color over here. But that's my layout for my lunchtime today. Let me come on back and say goodbye. Maybe if I can find the right button. There we go. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. I love my layout. I can't wait to get my photos on here and get this one in my book. If I get photos on here from a trip we're going to take in a couple weeks, it probably will be my first layout for 2024 photos. So that's kind of exciting. So thank you for joining me. I hope you find some time to get some scrapping done, whether it's your lunchtime or after lunch or your evening. Get some photos onto some pages and get your albums done, right? That's what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.